Welcome back to our review. Let's go on to number 6. Sketching practice. Okay, so we're going to be sketching. Draw plane B with line S intersecting it at point M. On plane B are two lines that are perpendicular. Name them line F and line P. There is a third line on plane B called AK, and it is perpendicular to line S at the intersection point M. Okay, there was a lot happening there. We're going to go back and we're going to take it step by step and we're going to come up with a pretty cool sketch. All right, draw plane B. Okay, so it's the first thing we have to draw, plane B with line S. So we're going to have a line called S intersecting it. Now by it means intersecting the plane at point M. Okay, so we have a plane and we have a line cutting through it, intersecting it, and where it intersects, we're going to call that point M. Okay, let's go. So a plane is always a parallelogram. So I'm going to draw a pretty big visual here. Okay, so here's my plane. They said to call it B, so I'm going to do a cursive letter in the corner, uppercase. So draw the plane with line S intersecting it. So that means cutting through. I'm going to have the line come from the top, cut through right about here. Now it's going to be behind the plane or underneath it and then continuing below. I keep the arrows on both sides because it's a line, so it continues forever in both directions. They said to call this line S. So I'm going to put a script or cursive letter right near the arrow. Now it's saying that it's intersecting the plane at point M. So right here where it intersects, where we put that point, we're going to label it M. Okay, so we have a plane B with a line S intersecting it at point M. First part done. Let's keep going. On plane B, there are two lines. So on the plane or in the plane, not cutting through, but on it. So on the plane, there are two lines that are perpendicular. Okay, so we're going to have to draw two lines that are perpendicular. And they want us to name them line F and line P. Okay, so let's go ahead and do two lines. Here's one. Now I'm going to draw one perpendicular. And they asked to call it line F, and the other one should be called P. Okay, so we have two lines that are perpendicular. Oh, let me show how it's perpendicular. Let me put the little right angle symbol at the intersection point. That's how I convey to you that it's perpendicular. That symbol, that little box. Okay, so we're done with the second sentence. Let's keep going. There is a third line. Okay, so really it's probably the fourth line, but there is a third line on the plane. So now we have a third line that's again on the plane. And it's called AK. All right, so that's how we're going to name the third line. This third line, it's perpendicular to line S at the intersection point M. Okay, so my last line, I'm going to draw it on this plane B, but it has to cross this intersecting line S and form a right angle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a line like this, because I just want to give myself some space and not have it overlap. Here's my new line. It's intersecting with line S, and at the intersection I'm going to put a little right angle to show that it's perpendicular. Now I need to name this line appropriately. They said to call it line AK. So that means I need to have 2 points on the line, one called A, one called K. Doesn't matter where. So maybe I'll put one here, A, and then I'll put another one here, K. But again, doesn't matter where I put those 2 points on the line, as long as they're somewhere on there. So let's make sure this made sense. So we have a line that's on the plane. Okay, absolutely. AK is on the plane. And we called it AK. Absolutely, we did. We had 2 points, A and K. And that line should be perpendicular. Well, we have that little yellow box, so we're showing that it's perpendicular to line S. Yep, perpendicular to that line cutting through at the intersection point M. So it's perpendicular at M. Absolutely. So this is one example of how you could have done your sketch. Okay, let's keep it moving. Number 7. What are the undefined terms of geometry? The undefined terms of geometry are the same as the building blocks of geometry. It's what our entire unit is named after. Points, lines, and planes. That's simple. Those are the 3 undefined terms of geometry that all of the rest of geometry is built upon. Okay, let's keep it moving. Now, the next video is going to cover some of the coordinate geometry that you have to understand.